Alrighty, alright. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. There, everything seems to be in working order. We're about to go live here in a few seconds. Alright. Let's do this. For those of you just tuning in, this is our Thursday night stream. Our guest tonight will be Lieutenant Colonel Faticus of the 101st Airborne. We expect 2 other personnel from 101st to be joining us. Forgot their names already. Alright, let's get this show on the road. What's up?
What's up?
Shit, not much. Make sure your audio's included. We get this show on the road.
Just so you know, this is Captain Ray's. He runs our infantry.
Hello, Captain.
Hello.
And then this is Master Sergeant Epic, who is the platoon sergeant of 4th Platoon.
Epic, I was actually wondering what
Good
happened
evening.
to you at their first rifles.
Well, we can get into that. We can definitely drive into that because he's going to talk about 4th Platoon and because, like I said, we're trying to reach out to the Brits.
Cool.
Yeah, boy.
Gentlemen, before we start, it's just like I told Fatix, it's just make sure everyone's audio's included. That way, we don't look like we're.
Is my connection okay, by the way? Yeah, you sound alright.
My daughter is screaming. I had to go in the bedroom.
Children, I will never have them.
It's been a hellacious night, for that's for
I
certain.
probably have children. I just don't know about it.
It's horrible.
Fucking hell.
Thank God for the Pacific
That
Ocean.
Navy life.
Yeah, they're Asia's problem now.
Like, Asia's probably just got that. Borderline horrible.
I'm probably gonna get that little phone call about 25 years down the road asking if I'm this person. It's like, well, shit.
I'm just saying, you just managed to piss off the 2 Asian people we have in our community.
Ah, fuck.
No.
But
anyways, yeah. All is good. All is good in 101A. All is good in the land of Milsim for the most part. There are some major issues, though.
There's always major
what
issues in the
topic
community.
do you want to start off with? I know we got a few that we're here to discuss.
Well, I will say this. While we got it, we'll start it off. I do want to just set off this message with 4th Platoon. I'm going to let Epic pretty much explain it. So we've begun a British platoon. As you know, we have certain members of, you know, old 1st Rifles, old 5th Rifles that came to us and, you know, really want an organization, really wanting a stricter Milsim. They joined us. They're old Milsim guys, old British Milsim guys, and they've been phenomenal as far as us. So we're really trying to grow the British platoon. Now, the British platoon is still an American-run platoon, obviously. We are an American unit. Therefore, even though they are British, they are running American stuff. I know it's kind of sad that you have to explain this, but I know for sure if I did not explain this, somebody would have messaged me and said, what the hell's up with that? So, like I said, I'll let more of Epic really explain, but like I said, our mission is to really grow with the Brits and to, you know, show that 101A, you know, might be American ran, but we're very British friendly. We want people from, you know, the other side of the pond to get in 4th Platoon and help grow that platoon to maybe even one day become its own company. So, I mean, I'll let Epic dive more into it because he's on the forefront of what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, well, like the LTC said, our end goal is to set up a company and to be your own kind of entity within 101A. Be a separate company. We have ACOI, BCOI, and then hopefully we would have the British company eventually. It's going to take a lot of recruitment, but at the minute we have 22 men, and those 22 men have been with us since we joined 1 MEB. A lot of them before that, since we were in the Rifles. Which was around 4 months ago since I stepped down.
Fuck, I was just looking at the chat and Bammer's watching in his tank.
See the memes. But
Alright,
yeah. Basically with
that's... Oh, go ahead.
I don't know, you have something to say?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
actually
some
sounds
jokes.
good. You don't see too many American Milsim units doing that nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I've seen a few units do it before, but it's just been a complete and utter failure, to be honest. Like, these American units tend to have very small amounts of British, so they still have to stay up to 3 AM at night to do anything. Like, it happens sometimes to us, but...
I think the latest I'd done a battle was 2 AM or something, I don't know. I've been drinking since then. Fucking hell.
Yeah, that happened a lot in 1 hour.
I mean, 7, like, being up all night to like 7 or 8 AM, that's nuts.
That happened a lot with the British teams back when the community was actually booming.
Back on the old. Back in the old days, man, it was like way of life.
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine.
Wasn't
the old
servers.
Took a big crash.
No server. Oh, server's only operational for 27 minutes out of the day. Nope. you got rated at 7 o'clock in the morning. you had to pull something on.
Yeah, man, it's just 27 minutes. I could drop a few Moabs.
Fucking hell.
No.
But that's good. Good to see everyone's doing something new, doing exciting. Alright, I know people are wanting us to talk about. I just started to look at the chat. Oh, is this getting ripped?
Oh yeah.
Everyone's wanting us to talk about MCS. Where should we begin on that part?
Oh my God, MCS. Where not to begin? Where to begin? Where not to begin? God, what isn't wrong with MCS? So MCS, so we were one of the first units to pretty much oppose it publicly within the community, which, the 4th did not like at all. But, we decided that, we don't just follow with the flock, in the sense. Just because 4th ID says, hey, this is the future of standards, we don't just get in line and say, okay, masses, like, this is what we're going to do now. No, we think for ourselves as a unit, and in the sense of, there were things with MCS that we agreed with. It's just, obviously in those server settings, because, those are pretty, I feel like everyone that wants to Milsim should know those things. If you don't know those things, you should not be leading a team. And, after a while, you see that shit start to fade and people don't know those things. And, it's come to the point to where literally the 4th has decided that they should baby the community. In the sense of like, oh, well, we need to draw out every detailed part about Milsim and throw it on a document and have the peoples of the Republic vote on it. And if you've been here for 1 day or 4 years, your vote's the same. So if you're an American unit and you're new and you run an AK for whatever reason, your voice is heard. Okay, no, that's not how it should be at all. Okay, yes, it should be Republic in the sense of like, yes, people should say. But it shouldn't be, this team's, like, if you look at some of the votes in MCS, okay, so they vote on shit. And everyone that knows anything about MCS that's been around knows it's taken almost 400 million years. Began at the birth of the dinosaurs. So, that being said, if you look back at the votes, there are people that have voted on things that aren't even Milsimming today. There are people that voted on things that are in my unit, that are privates or sergeants. They're in 5MR. How can we go on a standard that has taken almost a year and a half to complete when people who have voted on things that are going to be on that standard aren't even around Milsim anymore? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, if someone was going to do that, they would at least expect themselves to be around for the whole duration, not just quit out quarter of the way or half the way or 3/4 of the way through.
So everyone thinks that the community needs a standard. It needs a standard. The community will get better when it gets a standard. And that's not true at all. The fact is that there are more teams that will break the standard than follow the standard. So that's the one thing. There's no enforcement of the standard. So if say said team breaks all the MCS rules and we complain about it and bitch about it, there's not really anything we can do about it. There's no enforcement. It's a guideline of how we should do things. So again, that right there makes it a giant waste of everybody's time, because it's how many laws do you know are made that have no restrictions on them? So like, for instance, if you get caught speeding, you're going 165. What's the cop going to say? Well, those speed limits are there for your guidelines. So we recommend you don't speed.
Usually, when a cop asks me that, it's like, "What the hell are you going in a hurry for?" But I mean, like you said, how people should follow guidelines. Like, should's a big word. I mean, not everyone's gonna do what the guideline says, as you state. Not know much about that.
Well, it's like if you look at some teams, there's been multiple teams that have, you know, that aren't going to follow it, like 5 or more. Leave an ass. And it's like, okay, so I bring it up to Lurch that we're not going to follow it, right? Tell him we're not going to follow it. Stupid. Yada, 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 yada. So what does he do? He tells me to fuck off. So we're talking Lurch here. We're talking LTC, Mr. Professional all the time. Never gets mad, never gets angry. Always has the opinion, always knows what's going on. Lost his bearing over MCS. Okay, so that shows me one thing.
That was
shows
over,
me that this is more
he
than...
lost his bearing. That was over multiple people leaving, correct?
In a sense. We got invited to a chat to help out smaller teams. And you know, he started pushing out that MCS rhetoric bullshit. And I wasn't having it. And I was like, no, this, you know, you guys don't need to follow that. And like, dude, these units are like, Lurch, we should change this, not even realizing that they have their own power in their hand to empower themselves. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, not even realizing that they don't need MCS. They don't need Lurch. They don't need me. They can do it with themselves. They empower themselves, and you see this, and it triggered me. I won't lie. I saw 5 or 6 teams literally just like Lurch. Oh, what can we do? What should we do? This needs to be this reason this. Like, he's the person in charge of changing everything. I called out MCS and I said, this is exactly why I'm not going to follow this shit. I was like, this is such a one-sided thing, to the sense of like, this has nothing to do with me or you. I was like, MCS is a guideline and standard. I was like, but this is why. You have teams that like I've had members from in 4th ID. I'm sure you heard people left 4th ID. I have people, you know, telling me on the down low that it's more important than, to some people in that unit. MCS is more the goal, the community and all that stuff is more important than actually taking care of the own unit. And you hear that and you say, okay, well, how is this not a power play? How is there not some, like, well, who's actually going to do this out of the kindness of their heart? This is a video game, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to sit on their laptop and sit on the computer for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months writing out a document just for the fuck of it? Didn't 1FR try to do the same shit? And I'm not saying that 4th ID is by no means... I'm not saying that 4th ID is by no means on 1FR level. They're a lot smarter than 1FR. But the fact is that if you think that MCS is going to solve everything within the community, you are highly mistaken. If anything, when MCS drops, it's going to make the community a worse place. Because now, at the end of the day, there are people who don't even who oppose it completely, and there are people that still ride with it. But the thing is that I would even challenge every person in here to message me over line and tell me, if you're following it, why you're going to follow it. Because I can guarantee it, I can shoot it down within 10 minutes of all the evidence that we've collected, all the things that we have pretty much researched on with MCS. You know, we are very friendly with the veterans in the sense of within our own teams and with other teams. And, you know, we've discussed things with... you know, our guys that are in the military, and they just kind of showed some of these things, and, you know, some of these things that aren't even used, some of these things aren't even there. And it's like, when you see this, and you have people in the military saying, no, they don't do this, no, they don't use this, how am I supposed to defy them and go with what the MCS says? Does the 4th and the community know more than the veterans? I don't think so. I think the vets know more. I think there are some civilians in the community that know a lot. But ultimately, we never put those civilians that do Milsim never put them boots on. Those civilians that do Milsim never live the life. We don't get paid to do it. It's not an actual job for us. It's a hobby. And so to act like that you are more knowledgeable than those people, and you're not really tapping into that info, is a disgrace to Milsim in the sense. It's disrespecting our own origins in the sense of we're doing military simulation, yes, because it's fun, yes, because it's a hobby, but ultimately it still needs to be paid to respect to the military. You're representing a unit. Like, you're representing them, whether they know it or not, or you know it. Like, so if you're a fucking dickhole, then you shit on it. You just shit on the whole process. You're if you think about it, you're being disrespectful to the military, even though it's a fucking video game.
And I'm not mistaken, there were a few confrontations between Lurch and a couple of veterans. I'm not sure what units they were part of in the Milsim community, but if I'm not mistaken, there were confrontations between the two parties, to where they were telling Lurch, "Hey, you're doing this wrong, or this ain't right," and the information they were giving him, he was blowing off.
What? I told you.
What the majority wants is not always right.
Nope. Just look at the community, for instance.
I've seen screenshots of community. There's some fucked up shit going on in there.
You got teams refusing to fight. You got teams that won't open their servers. Teams that will hide. Teams that will talk shit. Teams more focused on being the next Hollywood star in the community than actually repairing their unit or fixing their unit. And it's something that we grow tired of, and we have no patience for. And some teams have had to find it. We had a small team, the 33rd, got mad at us over something, tried to step into us. They only brought 4 guys to fight us. It's almost insulting.
Don't they have,
I know a lot of
have
people,
more than that?
I'm not sure. And like I'm saying, that just shows how much people do not know about how the community works, and how much like MCS has been in the creation, but has been no help whatsoever. In the sense of, you had a military unit requesting a PMC come raid us, which is a big no-no within the community.
I mean, you ever hear about the actual military unit doing that? I bet you someone's gonna say, "Turn your balls in, gentlemen. You lost them." I mean, god damn, I can barely think of anything today right now. What? Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't it called out that that the whole MCS thing was a power play done by 4th ID?
No, yeah. Like I said, think about your life. Think about what you've done. Okay. How many genuine people do you run into in your life? So you're outside, you run out of gas, right? So you're out of gas and your hazards are on. How many people do you think will pass you before they stop for you?
At least, I would say 20, 25 max. I live in Oklahoma. I live in fucking Bible Belt. So really, we're just... Someone sees someone in trouble.
Where I live in Texas, I live in the city.
In Texas,
and it's like 500... Maybe like 500, 600 cars drive by you before you do anything. The fact is that people are not necessarily evil, but people don't do extreme acts of kindness out of the comfort of their heart. It does not happen. I'm sorry, especially on a video game. Especially in Milsim, where the 4th have politicized almost everything from taking a shit, to fucking defensive packs and defensive shields. Like, literally, it has turned into Congress.
You can't dig a hole and then poop it in and light it on fire. You have to use a shit box. fuck that, I'm gonna dig a hole, poop in it, pour some gasoline, and then light it on fire.
Right.
It's like, I ain't gonna politicize how to take a dump.
And it's like that's the thing, is like 1FR were the tyrant. They were the tyrant like Milsim of like, they wanted to conquer everything.
Oh, I think, yeah, they're gonna, I want to bring them up here in a little bit, on a different subject.
Say that again?
So, speaking of 1FR, there's some stuff I heard about them that fits in with another topic we'll discuss later on.
Cool. But if you look at 1FR, they were a tyrant. But if you look at 4th ID, they're the complete opposite. They're too much republic. They're like a republic, bro. So 1FR wants to control everything. 4th ID is overly, like, almost hippie-like, liberal-like when it comes to Milsim.
So whole SJW or something like that?
It's insane, and like, I'm telling you right now, the reason why the community is gay as it is now, I blame a lot of it because of the 4th, in the sense of they're trying to fucking make the community a better place, and rainbows and sunshines and flowers and simulations.
That ain't no rainbow, that's a fucked up color rainbow.
Them going away from the fact that this is a fucking video game and it's meant to fight each other. We are men usually. There are some women in here, but for the most part we are guys. We get egotistical, especially over a fucking video game. Shits are gonna happen. Spouts are gonna happen. People are gonna fight each other.
Shit's gonna happen. It's just when it comes to
you can never avoid it.
I mean, hell, I've seen people
think about how much
where people live. It's like, damn, dude, that's some deep shit.
Think about how much fun it would be to be in a peaceful community.
Yeah, it would.
Where all day.
Seems pretty cool.
It seems great. It seems great, but it's improbable. It's just like the human course of history. Okay, so in our world, we have never been able to accrue a world peace in the sense, right?
Yeah.
How's that going to be any different in a community video game? I mean, as stupid as that sounds, think about it. But really, if you break it down, it's the same. There are people in the community that have alternative motives. There are people in the community that want to better their own status before they want to take care of their community. Everyone is on their own key. You're having 211 people. I don't even remember how much people are in the community. Like, there's some crazy number, like 180, 200, some shit. But you have all these people in the community with all different personalities, all different goals, all different mindsets. You're telling me all 180 people are just going to come together overnight and fix everything? Never. It's never going to happen.
One thing that history's taught us is always, man is always trying to kill each other. We're always trying to find new ways or just fuck with each other to the point where you're duking it out and someone dies and the other one lives.
Salty, you are military, correct?
Prior military.
Prior military. So then you can explain this. So, real quick. So if you're higher in command, now I'm a low-life civilian. So hear me out. No pun intended. You know, if your person who's in command tells you to do something, do you get it done, or do you have a debate about the situation?
Simply, if something needs to get done, you gather a group of people, or a certain number of people, depending on how big or small the job is. They say, hey, listen here, fuck sticks, I need you guys to go do this, this, and this, and this. You order them. You don't debate about it. Of course, you're going to hear a couple of gripes here and there, but in the end, we get it done.
So you essentially, even if you don't agree with what's being said, you get it done, correct?
Yeah, if someone needs you to go clean the shitter, you're gonna fucking gripe about it, but I mean, you gotta go do it. You're ordered to, and fucking in the military, if you don't do what you're ordered to, they could come back with Article 15 in the army, and in the Navy it's called council and shit.
So if we do military simulation, correct?
Like to the
Why
T.
would we try to make the community a democracy when it's not even like that in real life?
Democracy wouldn't work. Nope. Democracy, like the way you're saying, like they're trying to make the whole Milsim thing into like democracy. And
I'm not saying really it should be more. It should be more of a republic, in the sense of that everyone should have a say. Everyone should have, something. But at the end of the day, there should be people there. When it comes to writing standards, there should be people that are, either ex-military or military, working on those things. Giving us,
this is Milsim, correct? Like everyone here is simulating Milsim. This ain't political sim. I mean, if you want political sim, go join the high school debate team or something.
That's because the community is trying to turn into a democracy. And the fact is,
everything goes towards pole sim. Then you move farther away from conducting yourself doing actual Milsim stuff. You create team of 1st Ass Kicker Brigade, and you're simulating a certain unit in the military. Granted, Ass Kicker Brigade is not a real name, but it's just an example. Everything starts getting politicized. Politicized, yes. Then you start moving out from what you originally set out to do, simulate the military. Now you just simulate some political pile of shit.
Yep, and people are more worried about wins and losses than actual Milsim. I can't even tell you how many times we were up against the ropes against units. It's the only way you learn in Milsim is by being defeated, so you can learn where you made your mistakes. If you win every engagement, like I said, we've been blessed, honest to God, to do that for the last 20 engagements. But the fact is that when you win every engagement, you get complacent. Okay, well, complacency is a Milsim killer in the sense. And the fact is that losses are good because they humble a team, in the sense of, like, I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait for my team to lose. And someone could be like, what? Why would you say that? That is blasphemy. But the fact is, though, is I have faith that my guys will win every engagement. But I also know that we're not a perfect unit. We have issues. In the sense of every unit has issues. You're hearing it straight out of the horse's mouth. Every unit in this community has problems. No one is problem-free. They might think they are problem-free, but they are far from. The larger you grow, the more chaotic it gets. The more known you get, the more chaotic it gets. I mean, we're being called bullies. We have been the defender of small units for as long as we have been big. We have always had small units back, but yet a small unit tries to fight us, and then we defend ourselves, and then yet we get called a bully. And then our terms aren't full disbandment. Our terms aren't, destruction of the unit. Our terms are simply to go away for 3 months and learn how to Milsim. But yet we still get called a bully. We have a whole community right now where we're the #1 hit list unit in that community.
Yeah, I've seen that. Alright. Gentlemen, you want to take a quick break? I gotta refill my drink. And we'll get right back to it. If that works for everyone.
Good. I think Crow wants in now.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Well, like we just did a talk with him about a week or two ago. Okay, I'll be right back, gents.
Okay.
It's
I guess. Sorry, I'm like playing it, and I'm hunting one of far down on Battlefield 1, and I'm slaughtering them, right? And I like have no game volume because I have my headset plugged into my phone, and I'm listening to Fedicus like preach the gospel, and I'm just like, all right, I gotta go in the party.
Yeah, like Saint Eagle.
Yeah. Sorry,
no,
Saint Eagle will always be a Son of Saint stack.
Either way, it's when I say, like I said, he's not wrong. It's just the way that. That's the way that. Man,
that's how the cookie crumbles in this community.
If you guys are listening,
little bitches. Yeah, you could hear it.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying is that it's not that I'm not saying, so don't take my words out of context. Atticus wants to destroy all the democratic or the diplomatic processes, and that's not it. I'm saying we should move more towards a republic, in the sense of like everyone should have certain says, but there should be people that help guide the sense of standards wise. There should be a guide. The fact is, we can play power play card all day long, but myself and 5MR are powerful units. We don't need to play power cards anymore. It's not. We don't do that. That's not really in our game plan. We just want a Milsim. We want our other Milsims around us to get better, to get bigger. That way we can fight with them, have a good time, become friends, whatever. Enemies, rivals, whatnot. It's Milsim. It is a form of competition. There are going to be people that don't like you. There are going to be people that like you. The fact is, we've gone away from a fighting community and gone more into a talking community. And that has to change.
People talk more than they fight these days. It's ridiculous.
One thing, I think even some folks in Milsim community getting out wrong nowadays. You don't see politics in military units in real life. Now we keep that shit out of the military. Yeah, you have people who simulate the military bringing in this whole Milsim kind of crap. It's like, well,
the only people that do politics in the military are the fucking generals. And last I checked, none of us are fucking fake generals.
I only know of one so-called general. Anyone want to guess it? Alright, let's talk about UMC.
What?
What is it? United some coalition? Community? Whatever?
Yeah. You mean anti-101A 5MR?
We're both
basically won't fight us.
You mean behind the server community?
What happened with that? Like something happened.
Well, let me tell you a story. You ever heard of the story of Troy?
I mean,
those Trojans.
Trojans and Romans.
Yeah.
Or something.
No, there's the Greeks versus the Trojans.
Ah.
Well, we got USC, which are weak Trojans. They really shouldn't even be called Trojans. They're in this wall. It's giant protection of server passwords and line community chats and. Okay. How did Troy fall?
Simple. They Trojan horse, really.
Yeah. Well. Just chewing gum.
But really, it was just Trojan horse was made, and like they made it look like a gift. And who the hell did that? Yeah, it was the Greeks that gave it to the Trojans.
Odysseus.
There are smaller units that we are friendly with, that we've always been friendly with, that have been invited to that community. There are smaller units that hear about us being called bullies. Units that we've helped out personally. That literally took a stand for us. In the sense, saying, you know what? 101A, you helped us out, we'll help you out. USC, US, whatever, the UMC, whatever. Their days are numbered. They'll become as relevant as we all make them. They will sit behind a server and hide. And if that is what they want to do, then that is what they want to do. I personally, other than the, you know, smaller teams that are in that community that don't like that unit, I personally am not going to go chase after a community that won't fight us. What's the point of that? It's stupid. That community is everything of what I was talking about MCS. And you'll see more teams like that do follow in their footsteps because you have to wean it out. The fact is Trucked, who is 3MD, Lift Maxid, who is X5ID, had altercations with me a couple times. Trucked tried to essentially take over Spartan's unit from his 4th Cav, I believe. We called him out on his bullshit. Boom. Truck leaves his unit. Go stretch another unit. Lifted Max was in 5ID. They tried to start a war with us, only having 20 people. We smacked them into oblivion. He creates a Twitter page. Starts making shit up. Getting salty. Boom. Leaves, goes to the community. You have the Joker's unit, who literally was trying to play the fence. Go in that community. Not even have the balls to face us in our community when we call them out. Went and hid behind that community. So if you tell... So yeah, we can acknowledge that that's a community. Sure. We can acknowledge that it's a community. But I would recommend a name change to MPC. Milsim Pussies Community. Where all the rats
so hard.
and all the fucking people on Milsim, all the people in Milsim who can't handle taking a loss or can't handle being attacked or can't rather play clan fair than actual Milsim, want to be stolen valor. Because that's the thing. If you look at this community, it's a community full of stolen valor, blacklisted, members that have literally either purged chats, walk into ceremonies and shoot people. I mean, this is the type of community we're dealing with. And then when you want to face them, because their guerrilla tactics that they're trying to do aren't working, they run and hide. They close the door and they say, nope, I don't have to fight you. I'm not in your community. So the thing I would say to that community is that it's fine. They can do whatever they want to do. They can go be irrelevant somewhere else. But the minute they try to step up to the plate, so help me God, we will smack them back down. Every time. But I don't ever see them coming to the plate. I've seen their chat. They're terrified to fight us. Remember, when we called Joker out, Joker went to the chat and was like, oh God, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. And that's why they don't fight us, because you know what? That community that community is a clan. Is a clanmunity. That's what I'm calling it, clanmunity. I've had members. I've had members. No. I've had members tell me that they don't follow Milsim's guidelines. They want to be so different that they tried to steal our Milsim guidelines, our Milsim rules, but yet they're rebelling because our community's broken. So like many of the vets I've spoken to about it, many of the people I know, they've called it a snowflake community.
Oh, Milsim safe space kind of thing?
Yep, it is the stress card of our community. It is the, oh my God, my pussy hurts, please invite me here so I can live peacefully and do nothing on a video game because my life is that terrible.
Like, oh God, tampons!
Oh no, I'm being raided. Whatever shall I do? I forgot this is a video game, and it's made for us to be shot at. And it's not just about line chat. Whatever will I do? That's the mentality that has to end.
It would be... Fuck, I'm not sure if the cringy is the right word to say, but... I'm trying to think of a word, stupid... No, fucked up. Awkward. Anyway, it'll be real kind of weird. Yeah. Like some of these years, I'm willing to bet they would make promotional videos or some. They'd be streaming their ops or whatever on YouTube or Twitch. I'm willing to bet at some point in time, depending on how long this new group of units last, that someone during a little Twitch stream, YouTube stream, whatever, says, "Oh, I got some PTSD and all shit," because I've heard that shit before. Cause I literally heard fucking this wasn't on an Xbox Milsim. This is a PS4 Milsim on the streaming on YouTube. The guy was getting shot by a sniper, and buddy got hit right next to him. Of course, this is Battlefield 4. They're fighting on I don't know, some Asian map, Dragon's Pass or something like that. And he's like, he fell down, and like all you hear him saying is, "Oh my god, PTSD, I got PTSD." I was like, "What the fuck?" It's like something that just makes me want to just go through this guy's computer, like take my knife and just shove it right through his head. It's like, you done fucked up. But I don't know. If they start doing that shit, it's gonna be a lot of knife hands going around.
So, I mean,
I got real quiet, real quick.
I have a broken ass controller.
Killing myself because this game is such a bad habit. You can spin out of any bad situation.
What the fuck was that? God damn it, I still wish I had my knife, because I just heard something coming out from the fucking kitchen. It's like Charlie tried to kill me in Nam. He's coming for me now. But anyway, while we're still on the UMC topic, I've been hearing rumors that 1FR was looking into joining UMC.
Well, that'd be the smartest thing for them to do.
Thinking it's like, well, that's gonna be fucking the Milsim community V2 right there.
Well, they don't fight, so I mean, that's something that 1FR and them have in common.
Yeah.
But
unless
you know, if 1FR does try to join that community, they will be just as irrelevant as they were before. They tried this once and it didn't work out, and the British teams are essentially what kept the real sim community alive. But once they made the sub outlet of their own British community, the real sim chat died. The British units did a very good job of keeping that community structured. Whether people have had issues with the old 1R, old 5R, old RMC, the fact is that they kept that community going, and when they all focused more on the British community and left the real sim thing, pretty much it died. It withered and died. And many teams that were friendly with 1FR see them for what they are now, and that's what it was not hard to alienate them. They alienated themselves in the sense of by just performing like they performed when 5MR and 101A fought them. Was all we needed to show people for them to say, we're not fucking fighting with these tools. Fuck these guys. And the same thing will happen. There are some teams that might operate with some of these, teams within this other community, and like I said, that's fine. If that's what you want to fight, then go right ahead and train with those units. But I'm telling you right now, you're not going to stand a chance if you're not fighting, units in the community that follow the some type of standard. We wish more units would try to set stuff up with us, because ultimately we got good by fighting big units. We got good at because we weren't afraid to fight the biggest person on the block, and that's not here. I have to scrounge and you know, essentially get, you know, I have to sometimes lower what we want to do in a JTO just to set one up, and it's very frustrating in the sense of that, like, you know, I have a great armor core, and people are like afraid to fight my armor core, and people won't even set up full ops with me. They'll set up infantry only ops, and it's just frustrating in the sense of, like, you know, what is the point of milsimming if you're too afraid to test what you've got? You know, what's the point of even trying to get better? I mean, what, you're going to take a loss, you're going to lose, so the fuck what? Man up, get back up on that grind, fix what's wrong. And like I said, that mentality's gone. It does not exist. It is a blemish. There are few teams that follow that way. There are more teams more concerned with their, you know, they're more concerned with how they are perceived in the sense of, like, well, if I lose, then people will think I'm weak. And in all reality, you know, it's like I said, I fought the 45th. I have not always seen eye to eye with the 45th, but the 45th will at least fight us. They'll set up JTOs with us. They'll throw everything they can on us. In the sense of, like, I can at least respect that. You know, we haven't always seen eye to eye with that unit, but in the same sense, it's like, all right, well, at least they're willing to, you know, step up and try to engage us. At least they're willing to throw their armor at us. Whereas, like you said, if you try to fight some teams, you know, it's like, oh no, I don't want to fight you armor, and I don't want to fight you this, and infantry only, and it's just, it's honestly, it's gay. There's just no other way to put it. It's whack. Because I have to tell my whole other company that they have to run guns if they want to participate, and that makes them upset because, you know, that's not what they're good at. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are good at infantry, but that's not, you know, they know they do better in armor.
Alright. Sure, what? Alright. What was is that all the topics? I know we had MCS, UNC, 4th Platoon. Anything else you want to talk about?
I will say this, you know, there are teams that, you know, there are teams right now that you know, we're really trying hard to, you know, work with in the sense of, like, we want people to contact us. I cannot stress that more. We want you guys to go against our force, and I've only been contacted by a few people, and like I said, just because we fight you. I mean, think of it like this: if you're a smaller unit and you want to test your metal, and you go against a unit like 101A, and you give us run for your money, that's not something that we forget. That's something that we remember in the fact of, like, we'll honor that. That's honorable in this sense. You know, try it out. Try fighting 101A. Try fighting 5MR. We're not just going to go straight to war with you. Ultimately, teams that have beat us before will tell you that we are very humble losers in the sense of, you know, if we don't come out on top, we don't sit here and write a war doc and go after your team. Like, we think we want rematch, of course, but, like, we're going to sit there and we're going to train our asses off until we come out on top. And that's just how we are, and we want more teams to be like that. And like I said, if you're a smaller team and, you know, the community's been kind of rough to you, we offer shield documents. We look out for smaller teams. We protect you and help you grow. We have, you know, a couple teams. We have a task force right now that's a shielded unit. We have one UMR that's been shielded. You know, teams that, you know, have been oppressed by either 1FR, or teams that, you know, maybe had bad blood with an older unit. You know, we look out for it in the sense of, because you deserve to grow. You deserve to have a shot at Milsim, and the only thing we ever ask is that you actually just do your shit correctly. You know, and, you know, my message, you know, one thing I'll say before I go is, you know, my message to teams back on MCS is to the 4th is that I would just say, let this shit die. You guys go focus on your own unit, because you guys are obviously having problems. You guys focus on your own unit, and you guys stop with the fucking power play in the community. It's old. People are tired of it, and even your own members are tired of it. And if like I said, if you don't stop and you want to keep it going, and like I said, the losing of bearing and the issues I've had with enlisted, you know, it's gonna get to a point to where there's no fly zone, there's no return, you know. And I've tried, you know, every option with this, you know, certain units to, you know, we've tried being nice, we've tried, you know, staying out of certain things, you know, and ultimately we still end up in, you know, some people's mouths when in reality we shouldn't be. Just because we don't agree with something doesn't mean that we are assholes or we need to go fuck off, or we, you know, we have an opinion, we have a fucking voice. And if that's going to trigger you, then that shows me and my command staff everything we need to know about how your unit is and how you perceive us. Like I said, I would say that I still believe we are underestimated within a certain team, and I don't think we should be underestimated any longer. I'll just put it like that.
Alrighty. Well, gentlemen, that's about all the time we got for today. Again, we thank you for joining us on the stream today. And like always, we welcome you on any future streams.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. We appreciate your time, man.
Alright. And before everyone goes, this stream is unofficially sponsored by Grunt Style. I ran out of beer, so I can't say we're sponsored by beer this time.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
So I was going with Grunt Style. Alright, but shit, I got the Viking one. I like it. Alright, everyone have a good one. Yeah, we'll see you next time.